Hi, I'm Jordan Long, and today I'm going to talk about this whole thing. That you know always comes up. Well, not always, but comes up enough that need to be talked about. So you have this article, or this WIF 13, that's supposed to be a law that the European Union's going to make, that all the other European lands have to follow. Now, I'm not completely sure how this goes, but it's almost if the European Guild trumps all the other ships and elements in their lands. So apparently, if they get the law made, apparently it's real strict on copyright. So if you have anything that was somebody else's, even if you were using it in fair use, it'll get blocked. And if you happen to be uploading anything, it'll be blocked in those lands, and which is kind of sad. Now, yes, I do understand ownership over stuff. I get that. But at the same time, it's way overkill. The last time I checked, every land had their own copyright law. But then you're going to give this guild that half of the Europe happens to be a part of, and the other half happens not to be a part of, a whiff of. And you're going to tell them, hey, make this law for us that might, infect what someone can upload and what somebody can't upload. Now, apparently, what YouTube wanted was everyone to talk about it and use the hashtag keep the interweb well. Well, I'm not completely sure on how the European Guild works, but at the same time, it's kind of bullshit. That half of these countries belong to this guild, and apparently these countries, their own laws is one thing, and then the guild's law just trumps their law. It's kind of sad. So it's like, let's say you're uploading something, you happen to be in one of the sundriest lands that happens to be a part of this bullshit guild. Then, and if there's any copyright in it, even I guess if you're using it in fair use, you get blocked and you can't upload any more stuff unless it wasn't copyrighted stuff. And let's flip it the other side around, Jordan. Let's say that you were uploading things. It would be blocked in those lands. Even if you were doing everything right and you were following it and you were using it in fair use or whatever. But that's borrowed words. Fair use means let to work with. Yeah, I'm not completely, I think it's kind of messed up that there's going to be a law that trumps every other land's law in Europe that makes it where, well, if there's a hint of copyright, even if someone is using it in fair use or is working in it in the right way, it's going to be blocked. And they're not going to be able to upload any more of that things. And if any of your followers happen to be from those sundriest lands where that bullshit law might happen, that just trumps every other land's law, at least I think that is dumb, your stuff will be blocked from them seeing it. So it is kind of dumb. It is. Yeah, I get it. Europe wanted to have some way wanted some kind of guild, that unified them all. I mean, apparently it wasn't good enough that they were on the same land. No. But when you give the guild this European Guild too much power. Well, too much. You give them too much strength, and it gets to the point where their weird guild is taking is now your weird guild, and it gets to the point where their laws will trump your laws, even though you're your own land with your own laws. I don't get it. I really don't. But it's all bullshit. As usual, it's always going to be something sad. There's always going to be those who want to make stricter always want to make new or copyright laws, and you have all these and you always have these sundrous lands, I guess, and the European Guild's concern that is going to agree to this and say, yep, we're all agreeing to these new copyright laws, how we want ownership of shows, four-seer shows, movie shows, song shows, movie games, and whatever, just songs, how they're going to be worked with and who's going to own them when it comes to Europe. Yeah, they all agreed to this. Yeah. Well, kind of sad, especially when it's going to hurt those who already have material. Well, and I'm not talking about those who are already besmirching the copyright. I'm talking about those who are doing it right. I think at this point, Jordan, it's pretty sad, that we already have lands, businesses, and even folk in lead on their own who are saying, don't do this. It's going to do more harm to everyone than good. It's not going to stop, those from doing wrong with ownership of those things. It's going to hurt those who are working with it in the right, But it's going to hurt those who are, not doing anything wrong, but then have to prove that they're doing right with their movies. So at the end of the day, Jordan, I think it's bullshit. I think it's horseshit. That's what I think. You're right, Jason. You're right. It's what it is, At least in certain other lands, your own land might have its own law how to handle ownership of shit. But at least in other lands, you don't have this guild that's, makes laws that trump your laws, makes weird guild that trumps your weird guild. So it is what it is. And I know this might not be how YouTube wanted men and women to wanted folk or lead to talk about it. But it is what it is. I'm Jordan Long, and I'll see you later.